How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing great. I am Dork Radu and I am back with another daily analysis, starting off as always with the Forex analysis. To be more exact, we are going to start off with GBP/USD that is presenting us a very nice sell limit opportunity. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a nice liquidity sweep above all these highs here, followed by a very impulsive move to the downside that broke structure here. Okay, we can see that we have this nice fair value gap that was left behind, lining up perfectly with our area of interest. And if we enable the trade org indicator, we can see that we have some great confluences with it. The daily and the 4-hour on the graph are both bearish, and we also have a trade org order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Now we want to see a corrective pullback, and so far we have that. And if this corrective pullback continues, we are going to pull the trigger and take this setup. Okay, this is definitely a valid setup to trade. Next up, we have GBP CAD. On GBP CAD, we have a nice buy limit opportunity. Okay, we can see that price has been trending towards the upside for the past couple weeks, and here we have a very nice buy limit opportunity on this bullish range right here. We can see that we have a very clear liquidity sweep. Okay, right here, followed by a very impulsive break of structure to the upside. All right, we can see the aggressive break of structure right here. And we also have this unmitigated order block, okay, with imbalance sitting right on it that was left behind, that is lining up perfectly with our area of interest. And if we enable the trade org indicator, okay, we have a small glitch for some reason, but it's all good. We would have probably had a bullish confluence with it as well. Let's try again to see if it works. It's still acting up, no worries. It's most likely because of the connection on TradingView. Sometimes this happens, but yeah, nonetheless, this setup is a valid one to take. Now we want to see a corrective pullback towards our fire zone in order for us to pull the trigger. Okay, and yeah, that's why this GBP CAD buy limit setup is a valid one to take. Next up, for our Forex analysis, we have odd CHF with a nice buy limit opportunity. Okay, so we can see we have a shift in momentum. Okay, we can see, oh, and the trade org indicator is back as well, which is great. We can see that we have a shift in momentum. Okay, we have a liquidity sweep here, followed by a very aggressive break of structure to the upside. And we can see that we also left some nice fair value gaps behind. This fair value gap is lining up perfectly with our area of interest. We also have the trade org order block again in our discounted area, which is great. And if we look on the trade org graph, the 4-hour is bullish, which is pretty good to see. Okay, so that's exactly why this setup is valid. Now, as always, we want to see a corrective pullback in order for us to pull the trigger. Okay. Next up, we have Euro CHF. Again, another buy limit scenario. We can quickly adjust this fib since the price pushed even higher. Okay, and right here again we have a shift in momentum, very similar to odd CHF. Okay, we can see we had a liquidity sweep here, followed by an impulsive break towards the upside. We also have this small fair value gap that has been left behind. That again is lining up with our discounted area. And if we enable the trade org indicator, boom, another great confluence with it. 4-hour on the graph is bullish. We have the trade org order blocks again lining up perfectly with our area of interest. All right, so now we just want to see how price will start to pull back. Okay, if of course it won't continue to shoot up like crazy. So yeah, we'll just wait and see how this will play out. Next up, we have GBP/JPY with a buy limit opportunity, and we quickly need to adjust the fib. Oh, one second. All right, and because the price went even higher, and it continues to go higher and higher, we can see price is very impulsive. But yeah, let's quickly discuss about this setup. So again, this one is very textbook. We had a series of lows here. Okay, price swept liquidity below all these lows and broke structure towards the upside very aggressively. Okay, again, we have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. We always want to see either a fair value gap or a unmitigated order block lining up with our area of interest. And that's exactly what we have right here. And if we enable the trade org indicator, let's see if we have some confluences with it. And yes, we do. And that is beautiful. That is very, very beautiful. We can see trade org graph looking very green, which is great. That's exactly what we want. And then we have the trade org order block lining up perfectly with our discounted area. Okay, so that's exactly why this setup is definitely a valid one to take. And now again, we want to see a corrective pullback towards our fire zone in order for us to pull the trigger. Next up, we have CHF JPY with another buy limit opportunity. Again, on this one, we can see that price broke even higher. Pretty similar to GBP JPY, we have a liquidity sweep followed by an impulsive break to the upside. Fair value gap has been left behind, lining up perfectly with our fire zone. And if we enable the trade org indicator, again, on this one, we have a good confluence with the graph because the daily is bullish. And that's exactly what we want. And now, of course, we just want to see that corrective pullback that we always discuss about. Next up, Euro USD with a buy limit opportunity. Again, price is breaking out like crazy. So we have to readjust the fib, which is totally fine. Okay. Once again, liquidity sweep here, push towards the upside, very impulsive push towards the upside. We have this beautiful unmitigated order block lining up with our discounted area. And if we enable the trade org indicator, on this one, we don't really have much confluence, but it's still fine. We can take this setup purely based on price action. Okay. And now, of course, we want to look for that pullback. We want to see how price will pull back towards our fire zone. And lastly, for our Forex analysis, Euro JPY, which is looking very similar to Euro USD. Okay, so on this one, we can see that we broke this swing high right here with some massive bullish momentum. Okay, we also left this unmitigated order block behind. Liquidity was swept here as well. So we have all the confluences lined up to take this setup. And if we enable the trade org indicator, very beautiful looking. The graph is all green. And we also have this trade org order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, so yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's Forex analysis. As always, if there's any questions, make sure to reach out on Discord. Alright, so now I will go over today's metals analysis, starting off with gold. So on gold, again, we want to see how price will reject from this daily level. Okay, we've discussed this before as well. We've actually discussed this yesterday. We said that we want to see how price will start developing after testing this major higher time frame level. And that's exactly what we are currently waiting for as well. Okay, because we can see that price didn't really move since yesterday at all. So that's why we are just going to stay on the sidelines when it comes to gold and leave the price to develop some more. Next up, we have silver. And on silver, we have a possible buy limit opportunity. Okay, so on silver, we can see that we had a very nice liquidity sweep followed by a very impulsive break to the upside. Okay, we can see that we have a very impulsive break. We also have this unmitigated order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. And if we enable the trade org indicator, again, on this one, we don't really have many confluences with it. But again, we can take this setup purely based on price action. And it's looking very, very promising. And now, again, we just want to see a corrective pullback in order for us to pull the trigger. So on gold, no setups. We're just going to leave the price to develop some more over there. And then on silver, we have this beautiful buy limit opportunity. And yeah, I don't want to make it too long. This pretty much ends today's metals analysis. As always, if there's any questions, make sure to reach out on Discord. Now I will go over today's indices analysis, starting off with US30. So on US30, price is pretty much in the middle of nowhere right now. We can check the daily. It's looking very bearish. Didn't really reject it from any important levels, I would say. And right now, I would just leave the price to develop some more on US30. I don't want to force anything on this pair. That's why I didn't mark up anything. I just want to see how price will develop and then look for some potential setups. Till then, I will just sit on the sidelines when it comes to US30. Next up, we have SPX. And on SPX, we have a very nice sell limit opportunity. Okay, we have a textbook liquidity sweep here, followed by a very impulsive break of structure towards the downside. We also have this unmitigated order block that has been left behind, okay? And now we want to see that corrective pullback, which we so far have, okay? We currently have a pretty corrective pullback towards our fire zone. And if we enable the trade or graph, we can see that the daily and the 4-hour are both bearish, which is a great sign. And we also have this trade or order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest, okay? So that's exactly why this is a valid this is a valid setup for us to take. All right. Next up, we have NAS100. And again, on this one, we have another sell limit opportunity. Pretty similar looking liquidity sweep here, textbook, followed by another textbook break of structure towards the downside. Okay, very impulsive break. We also have this fair value gap that has been left behind, lining up perfectly with our premium area. And we also currently have a pretty corrective pullback, which is a great sign. And lastly, if we enable the trade or indicator, it's looking very beautifully. Okay, daily and 4-hour are both bearish. And we also have the trade or order block lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, so that's why this setup is a valid one to take. Okay, and yeah, this pretty much ends today's indices analysis. As always, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out on Discord. And lastly, we will go over today's crypto analysis, starting off with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is pretty much in the same spot as yesterday. We have this very nice buy limit range right here, this very nice bullish range, this very nice bullish momentum here. And now I just want to see how price will start pulling back towards our area of interest. Okay, that's all that I want to see. Graph is looking great, daily 4-hour bullish. We also have the trade or order block lining up perfectly there. So yeah, currently this is what I see on Bitcoin. We have this buy limit opportunity, but we just need to see how price will start retracing towards the fire zone. That's all that we have to wait for. Next up, we have Ethereum. So on Ethereum, pretty much nothing happened since yesterday. We are still at this important key zone, and I want to see if price will break above it or will reject from it and go lower. Okay, we just want to see how price will break out from this range and then look for some possible trade opportunities. Okay, till then, we are just going to stay on the sidelines on Ethereum. Next up, we have Doge. Dogecoin again, pretty much in the same exact spot as yesterday. Not much happened, which is again totally fine. We are just going to leave the price to develop some more on this crypto coin as well. So yeah, don't want to brag too much about it because there's no point. And like I said, we won't force anything. If there's no setups, we won't force it. XRP. On XRP though, we have a buy limit opportunity. We have a very nice liquidity sweep here, followed by a very impulsive break of structure to the upside. Okay, very impulsive. We can see this aggressive bullish momentum. We also have this unmitigated order block that was left behind that is lining up perfectly with our area of interest. Okay, and if we enable the trade or indicator, again, the graph is looking very nice, bullish on pretty much all the time frames, all of the main ones, of course, because we don't really care about the M15. And now we just want to see a corrective pullback in order for us to pull the trigger. Okay, and lastly, we have Solana. Okay, so Solana, we are pretty much in a important higher time frame key zone. Okay, we can go on, I think this one is a daily or a weekly level, I'm not sure anymore. It's a daily level. Okay, so we just want to see price is currently going through this key zone with some strength, but we want to see if it will have a reaction to it or not. Till then, we are just going to stay on the sidelines on Solana and see how the price will develop. And yeah, that being said, this pretty much ends today's crypto analysis. As always, if there's any questions, make sure to reach out on Discord, and I will see y'all on the dork side. Take care.